I'm Chef Frank, this is Protocooks, and today we're gonna make chili oil. Oh yeah, baby, look at that. Chili oil is a condiment I always have in my refrigerator. Everyone in my family uses it. We all love it. It adds some spice, it adds some pep to a lot of dishes. I really enjoy cooking Asian food. I'm not an expert, but I really enjoy it. And this is one of those things that you can put on noodles, dumplings, congee. I have videos for some of these things. I'll link them up here so you can check them out. Whenever I make chili oil, I usually make a large batch. I put it in the fridge and it lasts a very long time. And then once we're running out, I make another batch. It usually lasts about 2 or 3 months per batch. We do use it a lot. So if you use it a little less, maybe you want to scale back or just use it more in more items. For my chili oil, this is what you're gonna need. Star anise, Szechuan peppercorns, cinnamon stick, bay leaf, vegetable oil, Chinese chili flakes, Korean chili powder, onions and garlic, white pepper, Korean chili flakes, and salt. Before we make our chili oil, I want to talk about a few of the ingredients. First one is the spices. I have star anise, which tastes like licorice, and cinnamon that tastes like cinnamon. Now, believe it or not, you'll see this in a lot of Asian cuisine, Chinese, Vietnamese, and they're a background flavor. It isn't like strong and in your face, but it's there. It's kind of like a faint little whisper in the background. For my chili oil, I have 3 different types of chili. I have some Chinese chili flakes, some Korean chili powder, and some Korean chili flakes. Now, they all lend a little bit of a different thing to this dish. The Chinese chili flakes have a lot of spice to them. The chili powder actually kind of dissolves a little in the oil and gives my oil a really nice color. Even though the other ones give us some color, the powder actually is the one that gives us a lot of color. And then the Korean chili flakes, really good flavor, not a ton of heat. The Chinese chili flakes give us a little more heat, where the Korean chili flakes just give us a really nice, like peppery sting. One of the things I love about this is that it's super easy and it doesn't take a lot of work. So we're gonna get our dry ingredients ready. I'm gonna take my Korean chili flakes, my Korean pepper powder, my Chinese chili flakes, my white pepper, and a nice big pinch of salt. I like salt in this. I don't know if it's traditional, but I feel like you need some seasoning in it for it to taste good. And all I do is get a little whisk and whisk it together. I whisk it together to make sure there's no lumps. Also, that everything is combined really well. All right, let's put that aside and get our oil going. Dry ingredients are ready to go. Let's get the wet ingredients together. Vegetable oil. I choose a vegetable oil that's just kind of plain, doesn't have a lot of flavor. You don't want to use something like an olive oil here. You want something with a neutral flavor. Turn that on and start to let it get hot. We're gonna add all the spices in, and we're gonna add our onion and garlic in. And these are basically just gonna give us the background flavor for our chili oil. So I'm gonna wait till this comes up to kind of a light simmer and my onions and garlic start to sizzle. Once they start to get very lightly brown, we can add it to our dry ingredients. Okay, everything's starting to sizzle. I'm gonna give this a few minutes because I really want to infuse this oil with the flavors. Once the onions get a little brown and the garlic gets a little brown, then we can shut it off and we can add it to the dry ingredients. So I'm just gonna let it go for about 5 minutes. Okay, this looks ready. I'm gonna shut my burner off, put this aside, and just get rid of my burner so I can show you how to do this. So what's really important here is that we add our oil while it's hot to our chili mixture. I have a strainer. This stuff is just flavoring our oil. I have my whisk in there, and I'm gonna just drain my oil over my chilies. Get it all out of there, put that there, and then what I do is just whisk this all together, right? Look at that. Whisk it. It smells wonderful. Give it a good whisk. And now what I'm gonna do is let it cool to room temperature and then we can actually taste it. Now, wasn't that extremely easy? Now's my favorite time to taste. I got my Star Wars tasting spoon. Now, whenever you use this, you gotta stir it because the chili flakes do kind of sink to the bottom. So make sure you give it a good stir and kind of like let those chili flakes float around. Let me get a little dot here. I'm probably not gonna use all that. It looks like a lot. What I love about this is that it has some heat, but it's not so hot that you cannot go back to it over and over again. It gives you that nice lingering heat rather than that heat where you're like sweating bullets. It's got some great roasty flavors too because we put the oil in when it's hot. And it definitely has some of that cinnamon and star anise background. It's not super strong, but you do taste it. Man, you gotta try it. It is amazing. It'll brighten any dish you add it to. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give us a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. We have merch in the description down below. We have a P.O. box down there as well. I want to thank my Patreon patrons for supporting us. Thank you so much. And that is my chili oil. Quick and easy. I'm Chef Frank, this is Protocooks. Have a good one. Bacon chili oil. Ooh yeah, spicy goodness.